Okay, so let's see. I know where. Okay, Mallory. Hi, Mallory. Welcome. So this is like the first time on our Zoom, and someone else was on. They dropped off. Hopefully they get back on. So it's really laid back. It's just it's a nice way for all of us to kind of chat. And like I said in the chat earlier, if anybody's welcome to chime in. If you have questions or anything that you want to discuss, just chime in and we'll talk about it. So really, I don't know how many of you watched that pop-up training last night. I don't know if any of you were any of you able to get on besides myself.
I watched it.
Mallory, you watched it? Brittany? Yeah. Okay. Yep. Super. I don't know about you guys, but I had a lot of moments where I was like, yeah, that's really, really awesome. So not that I'm going to repeat the same thing, but I did take some notes on that, but oh my gosh, I wrote in the worst ink. I wrote in red ink, so I'm going to be squinting. It's like dark in here. So really, I wrote down some tips. This is how tonight's going to kind of flow. I'm not going to do a whole lot of talking. I know David's really excited about sharing his experience with the men's retreat, so I'm super excited to hear about that. He's got some really good information. So he's going to get on here in a minute, but I kind of wanted to just share some tips that I found helpful today. I was listening. I'll have to mention her name a little bit in a little while. But there was a leader that I was watching today that I was just, number one, she's like super funny. She really caught my attention, but she was so real and like, I don't know, I felt like connected with her. I mean, I can go ahead and tell you her name, but her name is Christina Watts. Super funny girl, I gotta tell you. So if you guys get a chance, look her up on YouTube. She has some great videos out there, but she's super, super real and down to earth. So I got a little bit of information from her today, but what I kind of want to talk about is, hang on, let me get adjusted here. But I want to talk about positivity and kind of getting away from discouragement, I guess, a little bit. And just, some tips, helpful tips as far as like, running a successful business. Because that's what, obviously, we're all want to do. So bear with me because I'm squinting. I took a little bit of notes, but I think, so I know for me and for a lot of you, we have Mallory who's new, which is great. Someone else just joined, Melissa. So we have newbies, but we have also a few of you that have been with me since January. And when we start out with this business, we're like on fire. We've got momentum. We're like, this is so great and exciting. We're excited about the products. And sometimes, and I'm just going to be real, sometimes along the way, we kind of lose that momentum. We kind of hit some slow patches and where we're just kind of sluggish. And sometimes we allow that to kind of consume us. And we're just kind of like, bleh, no one's liking my stuff. I just, signed a few DTs. I'm just going to be honest. Sometimes, you're thinking, gosh, I feel like I'm leading, but maybe they're not working their business. So a lot of different, you're going to go through some bumps in the road. So I kind of want to talk about how to like overcome that, because I think it's so important to overcome that. So some of the things that I'm just going to share, some of the things that I kind of do that helps me get through those times. Number one, as soon as if I were to feel that way, if I get that way, let's just say I had a bad couple days and I'm kind of feeling like I'm just not getting, hitting my goals or whatever. I plug myself in. So and this is what I do, and I find it helpful. Every day, I kind of put it in my daily routine as far as my business. And granted, I do work from home. I'm very privileged to be able to do that. And I know a lot of you work full time. or some of you work full time, but I still try to squeeze it in. I don't know. I'm kind of suggesting this, even if you're full time, because even if it's like 10 or 15 minutes, I get on a video. I will, whether it's Susan's videos, she's always very inspiring, or, I like Sydney Stapleton. There's just a ton of leaders, you guys, and that's just two of them. But like I said today, I try to kind of look for new leaders too, maybe that I'm not familiar with, just to kind of see, because we all have different personalities. We all have different people we connect with. So I always, recommend or encourage people just to kind of research and find those leaders that you relate to, and that inspire you, and watch videos. So that's kind of like number one. I'll watch a video or a training from a leader. I feel like when I do that, number one, I'm plugging in. Number two, I'm learning new things from this leader. Number three, it pumps me up. Let's be real. Last night when I was on that training call, I was so pumped up. I was up till like 1 a.m, just on fire. Like, okay, I'm getting my day ready for tomorrow. I'm getting my goals set. I already know who I'm going to message. So I think that helps a lot. Some of the other things that I think, that I do to kind of get out of that negative mindset, is I write down my goals. I encourage everybody to do that anyways, but I write them down so that I can see them. And then I also work on my dream board. That is always exciting to me. In fact, I probably talk about my dreams and the things that I don't even say that I wish, or I don't even say that this is just a dream. I say, these are the things that I'm going to do. I don't care if it takes me 2 years, you guys. These are the things that I want. These are the things I want to change. And these are the things that I want to do for my family and myself. So I think dream boards are super, super important for motivation, inspiration, and just keep you positive. The other thing I do is I work on my plan. That kind of coincides with your goals, but I always try to have a plan of attack, like every day. And again, you can do this, you guys. Like I said, I know some of you work full time, but when you have moments, because I'll be honest, this is your business. I know most of you join this business because you have a huge why. You want to be home with your kiddos, or you want to be home with your family. You want to be able to take vacations. You want that freedom. So we all want our businesses to succeed and grow. So you definitely, have to make that time. So yeah, get a plan, make a plan, get your charts out. That's, to me, I look at my chart every day. Because I think I'm a visual type person. So if I'm looking and seeing it, kind of like with my dream board and my goals, if I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, this is what I need. I need to fill these boxes, and this is how I'm going to do that. And then I'll focus in, and I'm going to be really good. I look at my team and I focus on the people who are working their business, who have their 80, PBB auto ship running every month, who are messaging people, who are, communicating with me, and I can see my downline. I can see who's working their business, and also communicating with me. I think that's really important. People who are plugging in. So you kind of have to have that plan, your charting, know your team, because, all those things are important for all of us to succeed and promote within our business. I also want to point out sometimes, because this kind of falls along the lines of just, like I said, where you're feeling kind of like slow, or, gosh, I feel like I'm not going anywhere. Don't focus on the number of likes or comments on your Facebook. A lot of you guys, we go over the 3 and 3 rule as far as postings. Being very consistent is key to this business. But I think a lot of times, at the beginning, we're new, we're sharing with our warm market and our friends and families. I had a little bit of support, not so much with my close friends. I'll be honest, my close friends really didn't. They were like, the ones that I thought were going to join me, that I was excited about, they're like, yeah, okay. So just, you'll get those likes and comments, and then and then it kind of, it kind of halts a little bit. And so then you're just like, oh my gosh, no one's liking, no one's commenting. Guys, don't focus on that. I'll be honest. I don't think since I started this business, I've never focused on that, because I know that people are watching. I know that. And I know this because, 3 months down the road from when I started, I had people messaging me that have never liked or never commented on one single post. And I ended up signing them as a loyal. So don't concentrate on that, because I feel like, a lot of you do, and you guys, y'all let that consume. You're like, oh my gosh, no one's liking, no one's commenting. I don't even know who to, it kind of like blocks you, to the point where you're like, I don't even know who to message anymore. So don't let that consume you. Because again, people are watching. Who's that? I was going to mute whoever. Sorry, I'm so bad with this muting situation.
You didn't buy any spray at all?
What?
Hey.
Who is that?
Hey,
Okay.
Do you hear me?
Who's talking?
Hello? This is Bridget. I was talking to my husband. I'm sorry. I didn't know y'all could hear me.
Oh, okay. I was like, I don't even know who's talking. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Sounds like she's buying flowers.
Continue.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, I had to turn it up. Okay. So anyways, staying consistent, just know that people are watching you, and which kind of leads me into consistency. Being consistent is key with this business, you guys. If you guys get into that mode of discouragement or slumping, and you guys start, kind of, oh, well, I'll post, once today, and then maybe I'll post again tomorrow. I'm telling you right now, you're doing yourself a huge disjustice. People are watching you. And I'm just being real. And if people are seeing, okay, yeah, she's not posting as much anymore. She posts like once in a while or whatever. Obviously, you're not gonna. Those people are gonna just look at you and be like, well, I'm not gonna join her team. Why would I join her team? She's already like not even posting anymore. Maybe she's not into the product. So make sure you're consistent with that. Sorry, I need to go back up here. Another thing really quickly, because I definitely want to get David on, because I know he has a lot to say. You guys, stay true to yourself. I mean, really stay true to yourself and keep it simple. This business has it laid out for you. The steps to success, that's how we run our business. One of the comments last night that really stuck with me is that, you start out as a distributor. So, and you got your steps to success. Really, as far as like, whether you're a distributor, whether you're a diamond leader, whether you're an ambassador, the thing that I took last night that stuck with me is the only difference between a distributor, starting out in an ambassador level, is how many times you completed the steps to success. That's one of the many things that I took from that training last night. And it kind of stuck with me, because it's like, it's so true. Like, it's all laid out for you. And I think sometimes we tend to over or complicate it when it's really simple. Like my goal, I set daily goals. I set a goal every day to sign a loyal. I obviously don't always do it every day, but that's like my personal goal. But, I have my steps to success out every day. Like that's like your monthly goal. 3 DTs, 4 loyal customers. That should be your every month goal. So I always have a steps to success sheet printed for each month. And then, I will even go on there and write down like names, like pretend that, okay, like right now I'm talking to a few potential distributors. I'm super excited. So I'm like writing their names, on my chart, and then my steps to success as far as those DTs and those little slots. That helps me. Again, I'm a visual person, so I like to write these things down, and it also keeps me organized. What else? Sorry, I'm trying to hurry through this. So I mentioned her earlier. I do think you guys should take a look. Again, her name is Christina Watts. She's on your team, Susan, right? She's not? Oh, well, I thought she was. Well, she seems pretty Pretty cool.
No, I love her. She's like one of my really good friends. She is like way more red than I am. Like she's like the most intense person ever. She's really honest.
Yeah.
Like she doesn't put up with anything.
I noticed that. She doesn't sugarcoat. She's very blunt.
Y'all think I'm mean? Y'all think I'm harsh sometimes? Y'all don't even know.
Yeah, I kind of figured that. Listen, because I watched her today, and again, you guys, I watch all different leaders. I think everybody has a different way of doing things. And we kind of mentioned before, like colors and personalities. So, like, it's kind of nice just to look at different leaders and get different viewpoints and advice. But yeah, when I watched her, I was like, whoa, some of the things she was saying, I mean, it's true though. I mean, she's being honest, but it's just, she was very down to earth. But I think that, you guys, I took some good points from her, like some of the things that she does on a daily basis, like what her day looks like. I think it's interesting just from different leaders that I've, my son's now climbing on me. I find it interesting just kind of seeing everybody's, like our ambassadors, our diamonds aboves or whatever rank, just their different daily routines. Like Jade, I wrote down her daily routine. It's just, and a lot of it's the same, obviously. Building your network, adding friends, updating your hundreds list, following up with people, posting, blitzing. I did want to mention pulling credit card declines. I kind of want to just mention that because I feel like every month that kind of slides. When you guys make sure you get familiar with your eSuite and look at your downlines orders and make sure they're going through. Because I feel like a lot of that volume definitely could be recouped if we make sure those credit card declines that we're communicating with our loyal customers. But anyways, I won't go too much further just because I know David's probably chomping at the bit to speak, and I tend to talk a lot. But one last thing I want to say, you guys, and I truly believe this, and I know Susan does this, is pray over your business. I pray for my business. I pray for you guys on my team. I just think prayer is so important, and I've had a lot. I mean, I'm just going to be honest. I've had a lot of personal family issues lately, and God really has shown His self in my life lately, and in my family, and in my business. So I pray every day. I believe in prayer, and I believe in praying over this team. So I will end it with that. David, if you want to speak about your men's retreat, I'm super excited about hearing it.
Definitely. Sorry, I'm texting a potential loyal that's on my site right now too. So if I go back and forth, I'm sorry.
Hey, that's fine.
So, the biggest thing about this week or this past 2 weekends was, very rarely do we even discuss. What is that noise?
Hey, David. Yeah, there's a really weird noise, and I don't know if it's like your microphone or something. I don't know.
How about now?
What?
I think it was somebody else.
Okay. Well, it's better now.
Okay, cool. So the biggest thing is, this company, okay. When we went to this men's retreat, very rarely do we even discuss the company. It was about getting together and self-development. And I think that is huge. Writing down your goals is picture perfect. But if you don't self-develop yourself to accomplish those goals, then it's pretty much what's the point in writing your goals down? So, you're not going to be able to see this right here. I'm going to put it on Facebook, but it's a piece of paper that it's a vision board and goals worksheet. Michael actually challenged everybody. And guys, if you get an option to go to this, I wasn't planning on going. Michael called me at 10:45 on a Wednesday night and asked me what I was doing. And I said, I don't have plans. He says, great, you're going. And it was it was the best weekend of my life, like literally. So we started off by, on this vision board, writing down a mission statement. You know, you need to live your life with a mission too. You know, this whole company, picture perfect. I'm sorry if you hear my dogs barking in the background too. But the biggest thing is the money's great with this company. But if you ask a lot of leaders with this company, they're not doing it for the money. They're doing it to change lives. And a lot of people, Joel Dunn, that was straight out of his mouth when he told us that this is about changing lives. The best feeling in the world is when one of your loyals tells you, one of mine last week told me, David, I've tried 10 diets and this is the only one that works. I mean, that is about getting to know, and that's one of the bullet points that I want to discuss. And this is more as a team, but also with your potentials, is learn the strengths and weaknesses of the people that want to join your team. You need to figure that out from day one, because, you know, you don't need to focus on the weaknesses either. Because if you sit there and all they hear is, oh, you need to do this, 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 that's not going to get them better. So you really have to focus on team building and self-development. So, you know, with this worksheet, we also wrote down, and this is something I encourage everybody, write down 50 goals, not 5 or 6, write down 50. And then, you know, and this is how you know where your mindset is for the future. Write down 50. And then you go through and you number how many of those are 1-year goals, how many of those are 3-year goals, how many of those are 5-year goals, and how many of those are 10-year goals. And you'll see where your mindset is. If it's 1 year, you need to accomplish bigger goals. You don't need to put, you know, like one of mine is to train an Olympian. I mean, that is not something I can accomplish in 1 year. So you want to put something on here that you have to strive for. So going on some of the notes, you know, I think it's very important for y'all to know my mission statement, but mine is, I will live my life training, coaching, and mentoring others to be the best they can be in life while keeping God first. I think that is very imperative with this business. So that's going in. I'm going to go into my notes, but one of them was, make sure you surround yourself with like-minded people. You do not want to put yourself in a negative role. You know, don't talk bad about your team. Don't talk bad about the people that aren't working. Figure out why they're not, but don't babysit them. So you do not need to let that affect you, because, I mean, there are people, I'm sure, on everybody's team in this Zoom that aren't working, that you thought were going to be rock stars with this company and have done nothing. Don't let that affect you. You know, you do not run their lives. You know, they decide for themselves if they want this or not.
Right.
And I think that's very important, because I know I've talked to Susan and Jerry about this, because at first I did take things personal, because I was like, many people were all about this and they've done nothing. So you can't let that affect you and think that it's your fault, but you've also got to invest in yourself.
Right.
So, invest in yourself. Don't be a mannequin. That was one of the slogans from that weekend. Don't be a mannequin. So that means don't just sit there and expect this business to come to you. People are not just going to come straight to you and say, oh, man, perfect. You know, let's order some stuff. Just off what Jerry said earlier, the person that I'm texting right now as a potential has never liked one of my posts, has never said one thing to me, has tried one of our products that did not work. And you have to find out, like, so I sat down with this person and I found out why didn't it work. And I suggested an alternate product, and she's going to order 4 products. So, I mean, you've got to look at that. The wraps aren't going to work for everybody, y'all. The greens aren't going to work for everybody. The fat fighters aren't going to work for everybody. That is getting to know your potential customers and finding out what their strengths, their goals, and what they need. If somebody tells you, go ahead, Jerry.
I didn't want to interrupt you, but I just want to make a point. I love that, and it's so true because I was just telling my husband today, you're almost like a health coach. Like, I look at myself, and in fact, I talked to two of my loyal customers today. One, I just signed up. They just got their products, and I already made my I treat my loyal customers like, hey, I want to know, I want to make sure this works for them. I want to make sure. So I give them my recommendations. This is how you take this, this, and this. And, you definitely need to get to know your loyals and even your potentials. When you're talking to a potential, the reason why we say, you definitely want to make connections and you want to be personal with them because they're going to respect that and they're going to love that, and that you're taking that time to say, okay, so what are your goals? You find out what their health goals, and then, you make your recommendations based off that. I think in our chat, David, we were actually talking about, I think a couple of the new distributors were asking questions about weight loss. So, I kind of was saying, I always kind of tend to go to the system first, but you really got to find out from your potential what their goal is. If you have someone that wants to lose weight, but they eat a lot of junk food, you definitely want to have a lot of fat fighters in your possession, so you just, and I will quit talking, but I definitely think that you have to get to know and be personal with your potentials and your loyal customers. If something's not working, you got to find out why. You don't just be like, oh, okay, sorry to hear that. You definitely want to find out why. Okay, so tell me how you're taking this. Tell me how you're using this. And then, go from there. And like David, turn it around. We have so many products, some things may not work for some people as well as others. So I think that's really good, making it personal.
Yeah, and, you've got to understand, not everybody has $200 to order supplies, y'all.
Right.
If somebody wants to order just fat fighters, perfect. Let them start small, then go big. Because I'm a sales and service manager for a bank also. And I do not, when people come in and ask me for $300,000, I don't go to the most expensive loan. I go to the cheapest option for them, and then I figure out from there. Mm-hmm. So, but
I kind of do the opposite with it.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too.
I kind of start up at with the system just because I think it's more bang for your buck. But then I kind of work myself down to what they are focusing on.
But definitely, I agree. You can to a point to do that, but you've got to understand that's just getting to know your people. You'll know if somebody comes to you and they're strapped for cash, but they need it.
Yeah.
Then you got to start small. If you know they don't have a problem with money, heck yeah, start with the system. Sell them top systems.
Yeah.
So some more, I've got a few notes, sorry, y'all. But, you can live life every day, but don't let life live you. So I'll let y'all take that how you want it, but it's pretty self-explanatory. Don't let life live you. When you die, do you want people to sit at your funeral and be like, oh, I know he really wanted to do this, but he didn't get a chance to do it. Get out there and do it, y'all, because, if you're at work, you're going to bust your tail. And this is a thing that Joel Dunn said. You're going to work hard at work, so why not work hard at this?
Yeah.
If you're going to sit there and put the effort into posting, but then again, the best thing I loved this weekend is, y'all, it's networking, not net posting. Get out there and do the work. Yes, that's pretty harsh, but it's very true. This business is not all about just posting. You have to get out there and you have to talk the talk if you want to get out there and make some business. It's like I said, it's not just net. It's not net posting. They named it networking for a reason. You have to get out there and network. Don't get comfortable at good. So I found this out a lot with people at the meeting. Is a lot of people bragged about how fast they got to diamond or how fast they got to double diamond. Guys, I've been in the company since March. I haven't promoted yet. I know why I haven't, and I'm not going to blame others. I stay very busy, but then again, you have got to realize that everybody's time is going to come. Don't judge yourself against Susan or Jerry. I mean, some people, they've been networking. They've been doing this for a while, people. That people are not just going to come to you and say, let's do this, and you're going to be diamond tomorrow. So with that being said, I know Michael says this all the time. Susan, I believe, has said this too. If Susan woke up and Michael woke up tomorrow and gave everybody on this team ambassador, would y'all know what to do with it? And you really need to sit down and think about that, because I would love to be ambassador tomorrow. That money's picture perfect. But do you know how to run the team? Becoming an ambassador is not waking up tomorrow and being an ambassador. What helps is becoming the person that you're going to become ambassador. So let me repeat that. Who you become to get to ambassador is what's going to help you out dramatically. So don't wish that you're ambassador tomorrow, because you've got to understand, you might want that, but you've got to really remember, can you handle that type of business? So, okay. And women, I'm going to talk to y'all because a lot of you are married. This weekend was about how to treat your women. This weekend was about marriage books, and I'm not married yet, but I am next month for the ones
Woo!
who don't.
I'm going to that wedding.
So, yes, it is going to be fun, and look forward to
Better
it.
be cake.
But y'all, people that have never, going back on what Jerry said, there are people that have never liked my post, have never said anything. I go out, and somebody called me Skinny Minnie last weekend. Somebody said, I'm seeing you on Facebook, Skinny Minnie. So just tell your story. Let your story get out there. But you need to know where you don't feel comfortable and work on that. And you do that through self-development. Get Christian leadership books and get there. I don't know if a lot of y'all know who Blair McFarlane is, but he lives close to Susan. And he was very influential when it comes to telling people, guys, if you look at our commission chart, he said he would work 3 to 5 years with not one paycheck to make the money that you're able to make as fast as you can with this company. You don't realize how much money. All of us in here, if you promoted, okay, correct me if I'm wrong, Jerry, but if you promoted one promotion a year, it would take 9 or 10 years to get to ambassador.
I didn't hear you. Take what?
How long would it take if you promoted one time every year to get to ambassador?
Executive, ruby, emerald, diamond, double, triple, prez, ambassador 8 years, which is what it took Blair. Took Blair 8 years. He and his wife to come back.
So y'all, 8 years to make
$600,000 a year.
$600,000. Can any of us in this group right now go to a company and in 8 years make that kind of money?
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
So really sit there and think about that. So if you don't get anything out of what I'm saying tonight, self-development is the key that I want y'all to learn, because you have got to do it. I have done a complete 360 when it comes to my business. I'm signing lawyers up. I'll be picture perfect. I try to get people to come to me, and I realized it wasn't working. So you've got to stay up late sometimes, and you're gonna have to make that money.
That's another thing is, you know, that I want to add to that. What you just said is, you know, you definitely don't want to compare yourself. Everybody has their own pace, and that's totally fine. But if you want this business and you want it to grow, we're all here. We all want it. We all signed up. You kind of determine, you know, how fast you want to grow. And there's, you know, there's sacrifices. And one thing that I've taken from every ambassador that I've watched is they made sacrifices, and they didn't, there's no excuses. They didn't make excuses. I mean, and I hate to sound, I don't want to sound harsh, you know, but really, you know, you work your business with no excuses, period. A lot of people, you know, they work full-time jobs, but they signed up because they, you know, most people don't want to work that full-time job. They don't want to work for somebody else. They want to work for themselves. They want to be home with their kids. So if you work hard and, you know, you make some sacrifices, whether it's stay up, you know, like, I mean, this month, honestly, I probably get 5 hours of sleep, and that's okay. I go to bed late. I wake up at 6, get my kids off to school. I have a little bit of me time. And I think it's really important that you make, you know, a time out for you for self-motivation, whether it's a video or an inspirational reading from, you know, a passage from the Bible, whatever it is. It's really important. That's part of self-development too, is to have that, you know, that me time. But, you know, you go as fast as you work your business as fast as you want to grow it. And I don't even know if that just made sense, but you get what I'm saying.
No, definitely. I think that's very important. And, you know, one thing I learned more about myself through self-development is, you know, you don't want the company, you don't want your business to be all about me, 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 me. You want it to be about us, 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 us. You know, you hear that thing, there's no I in team. That's for a reason. You want to work together as a team. So,
do you want to say hi?
Jerry said something about when you get to the point that you have enough distributors, you want to be focused on your chart, but you need to focus on other people's charts and help them too. Now, I know that's a more complicated process, but, you know, Susan and Jerry can work more with everybody on that, but don't be just so focused on yourself. Focused on your team, because if you want to
promote if they don't promote,
right?
And again, if people join your team and don't work, don't think it's you. You can't babysit. You give them the resources. Now, if you don't develop your team, don't complain if they're not working.
You always got to lead from the front.
Yes. So.
And that goes hand in hand with consistency. If you're not being consistent with your business and you're not putting that effort in, and I mean, I talk about consistency all the time, but you're leading your team, you're leading your distributors to do the same thing. So I'm just adding that point. Sorry.
But no, and you know, everybody, what is the number one excuse that we hear? I don't have the money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So here's a good thing to say when somebody says that. You have to pay to play the game. Okay? That's very short and to the point. You know, anybody is not, everybody says, oh, pyramid scheme, pyramid scheme. Guys, you have got to have a story. You've got to tell it, and you've got to have things to come back with. But if somebody is going to sit there and ridicule your business, they're going to be the people, like Susan says, that are going to come to you in 2 or 3 years and say, man, I really wish I would have joined your team, because look what you're doing now. So don't let that faze you. But, guys, you have to pay to play the game. Nobody is just going to wake up and give you an ambassador account tomorrow.
No, you got to work your business. You got to work your business. You got to help your team. You got to lead from the front.
Right. So, and I think this is very important when you're talking to a person that is kind of slumped in the 9-to-5 job. A job will only pay you what it's worth, not what you're worth. So remember that. You know, that should be encouragement to work harder at this business, because your job, I'll repeat that, will only pay what it's worth, not what you're worth. How many of us do not get paid what we deserve at work?
Yep.
I mean,
Many.
take yourselves off.
I know we sure don't get bonuses like, you know, with It Works. I know that too.
Yeah.
Guys, you've got to understand. I'm sure some of y'all posted or saw my post about the armor of God. We all have that armor of God. The devil is here to make sure you fail, okay? He wants you to fail. He does not want you to be successful in this company. Put your armor of God up, get out there, and let's make some money. That's pretty much everything that I've got. I could talk
Thank you, David.
hours about it, but I love each and every one of you, and self-development if you want to get better.
Thanks. Yep, that's perfect. I also want to add to that. I'm super excited about this whole conference in February. So I just want to say that part of if you guys can get to a big event, and I'll be honest, I have not gone to a big event yet, so I'm chomping at the bit to go in February. Come hell or high water, I'm going to be there. So I think too, David, like just you going to this retreat, it truly changes your business. So if there's meetings in your area, I know Pam usually goes over, sorry, my son's climbing on me, that on the family calls, but definitely if you can plug yourself into those, it's going to be really great. But I'm super excited about conference. And Susan, did you want to say anything or?
Yeah, so I put this in the thread earlier, but so I have 2 threads right now that I'm offering this to, so it's 20 total. And it's a house that sleeps 15, but we're going to just bring the last 5 people can bring blow-up mattresses because it's going to be a free place. So we got a place about 7 minutes away. It's 3 miles from the convention center. So all you'll have to do is the day that the conference tickets are released, like you got to get on it and buy your ticket. It should be around $179 early bird pricing. That gets you all 3 days. You also, with the early bird, usually they give you wrap rewards as well. So you buy your early bird ticket, they give you like 2 or 3 wrap rewards. You can sell wraps and make that money back. So it's a great way to get your conference ticket paid for. Email me at wrappingmom@gmail.com with your ticket, and the first 20 people will get a free spot in that house, and we'll all be together. So you have like no excuse to not come, and you can drive down there. I mean, yeah, Tampa's far for many of us, but at the same time, like it was a 12-hour drive. Back in 2014, I loaded up 3 different cars and we all carpooled down there. We had girls that did not have the money to eat down there. They brought tubs of peanut butter and they made peanut butter sandwiches. And their one night that they had money to eat, they ordered pizza at their hotel room. And they didn't make excuses. They got down there and their business was changed. So I get it that, yeah, going on a vacation, according to your spouse, they're not going to see the vision. They're going to think that it's just like a rally where we go and like pump each other up. But this conference really does change your business, you guys. And if you're breastfeeding a baby, you can bring your baby, and your spouse can watch them while you're at the conference during the day, or you can bring the baby in with you as long as you're breastfeeding them. So don't let like a small baby get you down. Like definitely bring them. But conference like changed so many of my leaders' businesses. I had people go in there at Ruby Emerald level and they walked out triple diamond a couple months later. So just, I'm using this like house incentive to kind of take away some of the expenses for some of you. So really just, use that as a reason to get your ticket. And last year, you guys, it sold out in 24 hours. I'm not even kidding. They did 24 hours for the main building. It sold out. They released another building that was just going to show. Yeah, they released another building that was going to be where people showed up with the screen. That building sold out in 24 hours. So within 2 days, there were no tickets left. People still drove down to conference and got together in hotel buildings so that they could meet with like all the other distributors with their team. And then they watched in their hotel room the live stream for $50. So if that doesn't tell you how important getting this ticket is, it is so important. So carpool, peanut butter and jelly, whatever you got to do to get down there. It's so important. Obviously, if you're pregnant, obviously if you're pregnant, you can't make it. I get that. Like if you're 39 weeks, like I totally get it. But other than that, unless you're dead or you're in the hospital, you should be at conference.
Awesome.
And
Well,
the one in February?
Oh yeah. So I'm talking about the one in February.
Okay.
The women's conference was released today. It's a great conference, but please do not spend your money going to this women's conference unless you have the money to go.
Okay.
Please do not do that, because that is not the conference that's going to change your business. It's going to help you like spiritually, and it's going to help you, change for the better, but it's not going to be a lot of business tips. It's not going to be growing your business. It's more so personal development.
Okay.
So if you've got the money to go, definitely go. I'll be there. Actually have an open spot in my room. So it's $130. If anybody wants to go down and can get down to Tampa, I have a spot in my room. So that's for the November conference, which is the 17th and 18th of November. The cruise, I don't know if any of y'all are going on that, but that's in November as well. It Works You Atlanta is this weekend. I'm not sure if any of y'all are going. I'll be at that, and there'll be some announcements there, 2 big announcements. So I know many of you won't be at the It Works You, but be on social media between noon around 5 o'clock Eastern time. There will be a big announcement. They always keep the announcements for the end. So Saturday around 5 Eastern, y'all watch Mark Pentecost, Mike Patillo, watch my Facebook, and we'll start, giving y'all the announcements. What days is it exactly again? The February conference is February 9th, 10th, and 11th. And then the women's conference this year is November 16th and 17th. It's a Thursday and a Friday, which is kind of weird. And then the It Works You Atlanta is this weekend. And I don't think it's sold out yet. People are still buying their ticket. So if you want to kind of take a road trip and go, it's from noon to 5 for regular distributors. If you're triple and above, which I don't think any of y'all are, that's a Friday night deal. So anyways, those are the announcements.
Yay!
Y'all are awesome.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, I'm going to follow up with this girl who said she was signing up, and she hasn't signed up yet.
Woo-woo.
Sweet. I'm
Gonna sign up.
follow up with someone too. So, all right, guys. Did anybody have any?
Yeah, did anybody have any questions? I know we kind of ran long tonight, but I think what David had to say was perfect. And I'm really glad he shared, because all of us can apply that to our business. I'm really excited to see both Mallory and Lauren on here.
Sorry, I was late.
No, you're fine, because they're some of our newer distributors, and they're killing it. And I feel like they're bringing a lot of excitement to our chat. And so, yeah. And of course, I love all of y'all. I'm glad I see you, Christy.
Hi.
Hi. So yeah.
So excited for this.
Tomorrow night is our big team Zoom with Jocelyn Yates. She's an Instagram queen. So if you're wanting to learn more Instagram, that's going to be a great Zoom for you. Please get on the Zoom early, because it will max out. This is going to be one of my more popular Zooms. People are tagging all their teams. So it maxes out at 200. So I would suggest getting on there like 25 minutes early, and then just mute yourself and block out your screen and just let your phone sit until it starts. So
Yep,
Okay,
you
guys.
definitely got to get on early for sure.
Yes, get on early. Jocelyn will, that's a Zoom that will max out. So, okay, I'll talk to y'all later.
All right,
Thank you,
guys.
Jerry, for this.
Bye. Bye. I got to end the meeting.